Okay folks, this will be an interesting and a challenging one from what I can tell. Let's see if we can make this turn up a treat. It's something used for couples, usually couples. Let's see what we can do with this. This will be a difficult one. It's a difficult finish on the surface of the packaging. I don't know if we can make this look any good or if it's going to be a shit piece, a bit too experimental, perhaps. Stupid shaking of my camera hand. Sorry, folks. Can't do anything about it. Anyway, let's see what this is. It is a packet of condoms. Okay. Something that couples often use. You can see that holographic shine. But basically, yeah, Luigi and I, well, I'm thinking Luigi and I, we're probably infertile. We're going to get tested, I'm sure. We're going to get tested to see at my age and his age that we're both infertile and therefore we're not going to need contraception. Or even if we do need contraception, we don't need condoms because Luigi and I, we're both people of fidelity. We're not interested in infidelity, which a lot of people do, that are. That looks interesting, it looks boring. But basically, Luigi and I, we're not interested in betrayal. We can't. We love each other too much. We do. Luigi and I, we just love each other and we're not interested in having sex on the side when we get married. Just going to tilt that a little bit. So we're not interested in sex on the side. I can trust Luigi that he's not going to do anything stupid. He's not like that. He's not weak. He's not a piss weak type of guy. And it's a weak for a man to not love his wife because he's decided to have another relationship, which is really cruel. You know, it's really cruel to. I'm going to just do this whole thing. So, you know, we're not interested in hurting each other, because Luigi and I, we are, what's the word? Our love is steadfast. It's a steadfast kind of a union. It's not the kind of union where we fuck off and do stupid things, regretting it later. I don't think this piece of work is going to work. But basically, yeah, in a relationship, you've got to be able to trust each other. You got to learn to love each other, keep each other company. It's important to love your partner. Otherwise, you are going to want to have a bit on the side, and that's not acceptable in a relationship. Having a bit on the side is absolutely horrid, and that has turned out looking better without the positive. But basically, I'm going to make this into a full page. I'm going to move it. But basically, it comes down to, you know, you got to love each other, and you got to care about. I'm going to leave it at 200. I just don't understand how people can simply have an affair. I know my dad had an affair with my mum, and these affairs ended up, well, he was the one that left. but my parents weren't happy couple. They weren't happy, and they didn't. Yeah, they were very unhappy, and my dad in particular was unhappy. My mum apparently, she loved him and he didn't. And he just fucked up and went off with another woman or women, don't know. But basically, my dad wasn't in it for the long run. And it was sad. You know, it's sad when your parents can't have a relationship and, you know, without it falling apart. And it's really left a pain in my mum's heart. And she ended up with the house, but she had to pay the rest of the mortgage. She didn't get his super, which my mum wanted to have, but basically, it's a real shame when adults can't do the right thing by each other. It really is. It's really a pity that they can't. I'm going to use that. I'm going to try that again. That looks interesting. I think we could use that Durex. But basically, yeah, it's a real shame when your own parents can't keep it together. And I didn't worry about my dad divorcing my mum. To be honest, folks, I was actually glad because my dad was against my artwork. He hated me doing this photocopier work. He tried to ban me from it, and that really hurt my feelings. And when I found out that he was separating from my mum, or should I say, while he was about to engage on a working overseas, I was really happy because I could do this without feeling like I was going to get in trouble. So sometimes these things do have a benefit, I must say, in life. That looks interesting. But basically, yeah, it's really difficult. I don't know if I like it or whether I should maybe do another one. But basically, yeah, you can't always rely on your parents to be good role models. But you have to live with it sometimes. Yeah, that looks a lot more interesting. Wondering we're going to use this. Wondering where the centre of the job is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be there. Going to maybe enlarge it on the vertical. But basically, yeah, you just can't even rely on your parents to tag along. But we live in a modern world, and unfortunately that's not an excuse, but this modern world often leads to this attitude that having affairs and getting divorced is a modern world thing. It seems to be accepted that people are going to divorce, or they have. I don't know if they have them in Australia, but I know that people have often taken what's called prenuptial agreements, and it's just really sad that you have to do that because you can't trust your partner is going to go the full mile and be your lifelong companion till death do you part. It doesn't always work that way, however much we'd like it to. Till death do you part. You know, honestly, I can trust Luigi. I know Luigi's not one of those types that does this evil shit that typically happens eventually in a relationship. The marriage breaks down and all the rest of it. It shouldn't be like that, folks, but it is unfortunately what it is. It happens. And then, of course, there's the issue of disease being spread, especially if you haven't used a condom. But condoms aren't the solution totally. They actually do break. So if they break, that's it. You're in trouble. I know some condoms have special stuff in them. Like, I think it's called Nonoxynol 9, which is meant to kill AIDS. So, you know, if you don't want to get AIDS because your condom broke or get pregnant. So, you know, it's really, if only more people could stay faithful to their partners, we'd probably get less sexually transmitted diseases, including AIDS. Or human HIV is the common use. Human immunovirus or whatever. But basically, you know, we've got to stay. I mean, what's the point of marrying when you're not going to stay faithful? It's pointless. Marriage is just another bloody piece of something you almost wouldn't want to wipe your bum with, because it's no longer has a meaning. You divorce, it's like, what's the fucking use of marriage when you end up divorcing anyway? Stupid. Anyway, that looks really quite interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.